So in this video, I'm going to talk about 7 horrible things we do to ourselves when we are desperate for love, when we are desperate for attention from someone. Basically, somebody who you want to be in a romantic relationship with. That is the main person I'm talking about. Somebody who wants to be in a romantic relationship with, or maybe in just general, but that is what I'm focused on. When you are desperate for love and attention from someone you want to be in a romantic relationship with, and they more than likely might not want to be in a relationship with you, or they don't feel the same, but you are desperate for their love and you are desperate for their attention. So 7 horrible things that you will do to yourself. The first one is you tend to people please and you tend to bend over backwards for them, right? Because you want their love, you want their attention so much, you tend to forget about taking care of yourself, right? When you're people pleasing and you're bending over backwards for someone, you start to bottle up anger and resentment because you feel that they are taking advantage of you, which they might be, and that they are not doing the same things that you are doing for them. They're not doing the same things for you that you are doing for them. So there's a build-up of this anger and resentment. When you people please and you bend over backwards, it's just you bend over backwards for people. When you're with them or when you're out, it's just hard for you to unwind and just relax. It's just difficult for you to enjoy yourself because you're so focused on making them happy, you're focused on making them like you, you're focused on making them want to be with you, and you're just hoping that they will give you attention and love, so you can't relax when you're with them, right? So that is what happened. That's one of the first horrible things that we do to ourselves when we are desperate for love, is people please and bend over backwards. Second horrible thing we do to ourselves when we are desperate for love, when we are desperate for attention, we put ourselves last. You put your needs last, you put your desires last, you put your obligations you have to do, you put them last, and in some way you just think that this person is more important than you, they're more superior than you. And by doing all of that, putting yourself last, you feel burnt out and you feel exhausted trying to make them like you, trying to make them love you, trying to make them be with you, or you're only doing what they want to do, you're always doing what they tell you to do, and you're not thinking about yourself most of the time. So doing all of that could make you feel drained, can make you feel empty when you're executing all of these tasks for them, when you're planning dates, when you're executing plans to meet with them, when you're always showing up for them. Doing all of these things, putting yourself last, could really make you feel empty at the end of the day, at the end of the month, at the end of whenever. Could make you feel drained, empty, exhausted, and burnt out, right? And it's even worse when they don't respect you. Most of the time they don't respect you, they don't show appreciation towards you, and this could make you feel hurt. One of the third horrible things we do to ourselves when we're desperate for love, when we are desperate for attention, is that it's easier for us to get taken for granted. It's easier to be mistreated, and it's easier for people to just disregard you easily, right? Because you want their love and their attention so bad, you do anything they say and you do anything they ask you to do, and they may just take advantage of that, right? They may not have good judgment, or they may not have good discretion that they're actually taking advantage of you, or they might not realize they're taking you for granted, or they may just see you as a good opportunity to use you for whatever they want, and it's easier for them to take your kindness and your good-heartedness as a way to abuse you to get what they want, right? When you put your happiness in someone else's hands who, like, they don't feel the same way about you, they don't want a relationship with you, they don't want the same things that you do, it's easier for them to use you and to not value you and not feel bad about it. They might just see you as this resourceful person that get things done for them, and because they don't see your worth, they don't see your value, they can just use you without feeling guilty and without feeling any remorse. So you will feel worse when they're like, you actually would feel worse when they do not actually give you that love you want, they do not give you that attention you want, they do not give you that relationship you want, and you're gonna feel taken for granted, mistreated, disregarded when they don't reciprocate back anything towards you. So yes, that is the third horrible thing that happens. You get taken for granted really easily. The fourth horrible or terrible thing that happens to us when we are desperate for love, desperate for attention, desperate for a relationship is that you feel even more rejected, you feel even more neglected, and when they don't give you the attention and love that you are desperate for when you're actually with them. You feel worse when you're with them, you feel worse when you're like apart from them. Right? Maybe they don't know how to show love properly, or most of the time they just don't want to be in a relationship with you. They don't want you and they're just taking advantage of you because you're like always available. You're always available because you're desperate for love and attention, and you're desperate for them to like you, love you, be in a relationship with you. The next horrible thing that happens, or terrible thing that happens to us when we are desperate for love, desperate for attention, desperate for a relationship, especially somebody who doesn't want us, is that you tend to wait months and years for this love, for this attention. You tend to hope for this love, this attention, this relationship for many months and many years, and it never happens. And when you're doing that, when all these months are passing and all these years are passing, you are you're breaking down yourself in the process of being misguided by them, or you misguide yourself, or in the process of them mistreating you, taking for granted and doing all of these things. It's breaking you down, and you're just putting yourself in a situation where it's like you're not moving on. So your self-esteem and your self-worth, it's breaking down even more and more, because you're actually being rejected over and over again by staying there, by hoping and waiting for this attention and this love or this relationship. So it's like they're constantly not choosing you, but you keep showing up there hoping that they will choose you. So doing that, staying there for months, years, hoping or expecting a relationship in some way, and you're not going to get it, or wanting that love, that companionship or that attention, you're actually breaking down yourself. You're breaking down your self-esteem and your self-worth, and you might even develop a bad self-concept. So the next horrible thing that happens to us, terrible thing that happens to us when we are desperate for love, desperate for attention, desperate for a relationship, especially somebody who doesn't want a relationship with us, is that you pretend, and you pretend to be cool, you pretend to be friends, you lie to yourself and tell yourself you're cool with just being friends, or you pretend to be cool with casual dating, with hooking up here and there, and you may not say that verbally to them that you're cool with that. Some of us will say, yeah, I'm cool with hooking up, I'm cool with some casual dating here and there, you know, or being cool and being friends. Sometimes you say that, but you also say that with your actions when you have sex with them out of relationship, when you hook up with them, when you be intimate with them without being in a relationship. You are saying that is okay, and you are lying to yourself. You know you want something more. They might have told you that they do not want to be with you. They're not on the same level with you. They're not on the same page with you. And you stay there and you suffer. When I say suffer, you're being rejected constantly because they're not choosing you, because you're so desperate for this love and this attention that you're going to say you're cool with being friends, you're cool with just hooking up, hanging out, and you're not. So you sabotage yourself, you make your own self feel bad, you put yourself through pain, heartbreak, you go against your values, you go against your guidelines you probably have set up for yourself, you go against the boundaries you have set up for yourself, the boundaries you have for yourself when you're dating or involved, intimate with someone. Maybe you have boundaries of not having sex before you're in a serious commitment. You break that. That is sabotaging yourself. Sabotaging yourself also include people pleasing, putting yourself last, right? So those are the horrible things that happens to you when you are desperate for love. Those are the terrible things that happen to you when you're desperate for attention and desperate for a relationship, especially with somebody who's not on the same page with you or who said that they don't want you. So how to combat this situation of being desperate for love and desperate for attention? Well, obviously this is not easy. Some of us, we want love in our life, we want attention to feel good, and that is a need. But some of the things you could do to control this, to combat this, is sometimes you just need to rest and you need to just do nothing. Sometimes you just need to forget about saving people, trying to make them like you. Just be with yourself and just sleep because you're exhausted. Being there for them all the time, showing up for them all the time, trying to please them, trying to make them fall in love with you, trying to make them want a relationship with. That could be really exhausting, mentally and physically. So you just need to just rest and sleep and take 2 days off, 1 or 2 days off, to just eat, sleep, and take care of yourself. Just take care of your basic needs and do nothing. Be away from your phone. No phone, no social media. Just put that aside. That is one of the first things you could do to help with this desperation and this desperate for love, attention, desperate for a relationship, and people pleasing. Second thing you could do is do self-care, because you tend to neglect yourself when you're focused on them. You're focused on planning with them, meeting up with them, showing up for them, trying to make them see that you're a catch, trying to make them see how amazing you are. And that could be, take up a lot of time. So you need to just do some self-care. Take care of yourself, take care of your skin, take care of your hair. Learn how to dress better, eat better, learn how to cook better, learn how to choose better meals. Exercise, develop self-care routines that will make you better. Right? Third thing you could do is just work on your dreams, work on your passions, work on your desires, work on your goals, and try to forget about what you're doing. Forget about if they love you, would they ever show you attention, would they ever be with you. Forget about that and focus on your dreams, focus on your passions, focus on your goals. Right? Fourth thing you could do is just work on having a daily routine where there are specific things you do at a certain time. That will just help you to feel good and to feel accomplished during your day. The next thing is to do personal development work. Work on your communication skills, work on your skills. There's many things to do than focusing on them. Work on your communication skills, work on stress management. You probably have stress because you're exhausted, trying to make them love you, trying to make them be with you, trying to get attention, planning to meet with them, showing up for them, doing this for them, doing many things, people pleasing, thinking that they're more important than you. You need to Go and develop your communication skills, your stress management. Work on knowing how to make better decisions, especially like when somebody is not in alignment with you, they're not on the same page with you, they don't want the same things with you. It's good to make a decision early to move away from them. You do not have to be like in an aggressive way or in a hurtful way or with conflict. You need to know how to make good decisions. So you're working on that. You're working on your time management, having time for yourself, having time for your work, your social life, your personal life. Work on having time management. Work on solving problems. Learn to manage your money. Work on your side hustle. There are many things you could do than focusing on them, than focusing on trying hard to get love, trying to make people love you, trying to make people want to be with you. Next thing you could do to combat or fight this or cope with this desperation for love, desperation for attention, or wanting to be in a relationship with somebody who doesn't want you is to stop focusing on what they're doing and what other people are doing in general. Focus on your life. Focus on making your life better. Focus on your own happiness, trying to find ways where you can make yourself happy. You're not going to be happy every minute, every hour, every second, but there are certain things you can do for yourself, with yourself, that could give you a better life, to feel more satisfied. Next thing is focus on being less desperate, less of a people pleaser. Focus on just being calm and just being secure in yourself, accepting who you are, and stop trying to change yourself to make them like you, to make them love you, to make them want to give you attention, to make them want to listen to you, to make them want to be in a relationship with you. Just focus on being calm and feeling secure with yourself. Take your attention off them. Next thing you must do is work on your self-esteem, your self-confidence, and your self-worth. When you are desperate for love, desperate for attention, especially with somebody who doesn't want you and they mention that to you, that they don't want you, and you still continue to try to make them be with you, it comes from lack of self-esteem, lack of self-confidence, lack of self-worth, and having a bad self-concept. Talking negative to yourself, bringing yourself down. You need to just work on your self-esteem. I have a video on how to build self-esteem. You can check that out. And another thing you could do, I think it's the 9th thing you could do, which is one of the best things you could do, is to be around people who genuinely care about you. Be around people who really love you for who you are. Be around people who care about you for real. Be around people you can trust. People who see your worth, people who see your value, people who see how amazing you are, people who see how special you are, people who don't take you for granted, people who appreciate you, who respect you. That's the people you should be around. That will really help. And the 10th thing you could do to combat this desperation for love, desperation for attention, desperation for a relationship is say no sometimes. Say no sometimes to your friends. This could be with friends, this could be with co-workers, this could be with family members, but mainly in a romantic situation, right? Sometimes just say no, especially when you don't want to do something that they ask you to do. You know you don't want to do it. Just say you don't want to do it. You know, try to do things that you want to do, that you feel good doing, and put yourself first, right? So those are the 10 things you could do to combat this desperation for love, desperation for attention, desperation for a relationship with somebody who doesn't want you, right? So I hope this video helps, and that's the horrible things we do to ourselves when we are desperate for love, desperate for attention, desperate for a relationship, especially somebody who doesn't want us, right? So I hope this video helps. I hope you enjoy this video. If you like this content, you can hit the like button. If you want, you can subscribe, and just see you in the next video.